The following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers. This is the TFangy coming to you with what will hopefully be a successful review. And tonight we're going to be taking a look at not one but two Transformers action figures, and they are the Transformers TakaraTomy exclusive T-Spark Synergenex Godzilla type Megatron and Optimus Prime Transformers action figures. So, when I got both of these guys off of the internet, I got them both off of Amazon. I got Megatron 2 years ago in 2024, and then I got Optimus Prime. Actually, no, I got Megatron last year in 2025, and then I got Optimus Prime earlier this year in 2026. They came at separate times, so for Megatron, I managed to get the exterior box, which most of TakaraTomy's exclusive Transformers have been coming packaged in lately over the past few years. So you've got mostly black box with white words on it, exterior box in case any high-end collectors want to keep the Transformers figures inside the box forever. But moving along, here are the boxes of the two Transformers action figures we're focusing on today. So yeah, as I said, these are the Transformers TakaraTomy exclusive Godzilla, Optimus Prime, and Megatron action figures. They are the only two figures so far that have been released in TakaraTomy's exclusive T-Spark Synergenex line, which basically it's a double anniversary for both Godzilla and the Transformers. These figures originally came out back in 2024, which was the year that celebrated not only the 40th anniversary of the Transformers franchise, but also the 70th anniversary of the Godzilla franchise. So yeah, it was 30 years before the Transformers were introduced to the world in 1984, or 30 years earlier, in 1954, the first ever Godzilla movie was released. And yeah, Godzilla has been terrorizing the world for over 70 years now. Well, terrorizing and protecting it anyways. So yeah, here they are here. We got the Godzilla Megatron action figure. It's basically action figure of Megatron that is cosplaying as Godzilla, and that's why there's a lot of controversy. There's been a lot of controversy and a lot of negative feedback from Transformers fans and even Godzilla fans about these action figures, because unlike the collaborative Transformers figures that Hasbro has been releasing over the past several years, the Godzilla Transformers action figures, they aren't really characters from the Godzilla films reimagined as Transformers characters. They are the two leaders of the Transformers, Optimus Prime and Megatron, cosplaying as Godzilla and Kiryu Mecha Godzilla. So yeah, for the Megatron Godzilla figure, it's not Godzilla reimagined as a brand new Transformers character. It's basically Megatron cosplaying as Godzilla. Same thing with the Optimus Prime action figure. It's not really an Mecha Godzilla, aka Kiryu, reimagined as a Transformer. It's Optimus Prime cosplaying as Kiryu, and so that's why a lot of negative feedback and a lot of backlash has been given about these two Transformers action figures, because for people who are strictly Transformers fans, these action figures, Optimus Prime and Megatron, they aren't the most interesting ones that are out there. For people who are strictly Godzilla fans, the idea of Megatron and Optimus Prime cosplaying as Godzilla and Kiryu, it's one that they haven't embraced wholeheartedly. And for people who are both Transformers fans and Godzilla fans, yeah, these again aren't the greatest Transformers action figures out there. So if you manage to get both the Optimus Prime and Megatron Godzilla action figures, the box art of their boxes, it lines up, and you can combine the boxes to make a massive mural with Godzilla in the center of it. So, lining it up, trying to line it up properly so you guys can see it. Yeah, but yeah, there's it's hard to do it when I'm only have my two hands and the boxes don't really lock into place. But yeah, there's the giant mural that you can make if you get both boxes here, with Optimus Prime and Megatron standing on either side of Godzilla, who is in the center of the image. And so, yes, this is the two action figures TakaraTomy decided would be decent celebrations, for both Godzilla and the Transformers. So here is Megatron. On his box, you got some artwork of him there behind the actual product photos of his robot mode and his alternate mode of a mechanical Tyrannosaurus Rex. And that's one thing to note about these Transformers action figures. For Godzilla Megatron, he's basically a repaint of the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Autobot Grimlock action figure with a brand new Megatron head sculpt. And I thought that the head sculpt for Megatron, it looked more like one of the Dinobots than it does for Megatron. And so I checked the Transformers Wikipedia to verify, and yes, apparently Megatron's head sculpt, it was a prototype head sculpt for the Studio Series 86 version of Dinobot Sludge, which more closely matched up his Transformers Generation 1 action figure before TakaraTomy switched to the final head design, which matched up his appearance in the Transformers Generation 1 cartoon. So yeah, Megatron is basically a repaint of Studio Series 86 Grimlock with a new robot mode head sculpt. And here is the Godzilla type Optimus Prime action figure, which is based off of Kiryu Mecha Godzilla. And he, unlike Megatron, who at least got a brand new head sculpt, he is a straight up repaint of the Transformers Legacy 2022 Leader Class G2 Laser Optimus Prime action figure. So yeah, these between both of these action figures, Megatron is the only one who has a newly sculpted part because he has a new robot mode head sculpt, which means when you transform these action figures of Optimus Prime and Megatron into their alternate modes, they're essentially the same action figures as Legacy G2 Laser Optimus Prime and Studio Series 86 Grimlock, just done in different paint jobs. And so, the selling point of these Transformers action figures is literally Optimus Prime and Megatron cosplaying as Godzilla and Kiryu. And for many Transformers fans and Godzilla fans alike, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but yeah, these action figures haven't been received with a lot of positive feedback. So I highly doubt that TakaraTomy at this point will do any more Godzilla Transformers crossover action figures, and if they do, it'll probably be once again targeted high-end collectors, actors who are fans of both franchises. But anyways, here's Megatron's box once again. Coming on here to the side, you got the turning it sideways, you got product photos, again dinosaur mode, robot mode. The name of this subline that celebrates the double anniversary of Godzilla and Transformers, it's called T-Spark Synergenex, and it's an interesting name choice for these two action figures on TakaraTomy's part. Since they are TakaraTomy exclusive Transformers figures, again, there's the Synergenex logo celebrating both Godzilla and Transformers double anniversary. So since it's TakaraTomy exclusive, here on the back of the box, the bios and information on the action figures for Optimus per Godzilla Megatron and Kiryu Optimus Prime, they're both written in Japanese, and unfortunately I myself cannot read Japanese if my life depended on it. But yeah, there's some product photos showing that you can get both Optimus Prime and Megatron in this subline, and then you got some tech readouts of the figures, again written in Japanese, so I can't quite understand fully what it is saying. I can't acknowledge the fact that here on this product photo right here, you see what you get. In addition to the Godzilla Megatron action figure itself, he comes with the exact same laser gun Hasbro gave Studio Series Grimlock, and he comes with some blast effects. I believe those blast effects were originally used on they were either used on Siege Jetfire or Siege Omega Supreme back in 2019. But yeah, those blast effects aren't anything brand new, and they're there in place of the non-transforming figurine of Wheelie that Studio Series 86 Grimlock came with. So yeah, pretty interesting design choice there. There are upgrade kits out there that allow you to make Godzilla, Godzilla Megatron's dinosaur mode look more like Godzilla, like he appears here on the box. And there's another upgrade kit out there that allows Optimus Prime to look more like Kiryu in his robot mode, instead of being Generation 2 Optimus Prime and Kiryu's paint job. But yeah, same thing here with the Kiryu Optimus Prime action figure. You got product photos, you got the alt mode of the semi-tanker truck that G2 Laser Optimus Prime transformed into, since this figure is repainted from him. You got the robot mode right there. And you got the Synergenex logo all over the box. The sides and the base of it coming in here to the back. Same setup where you've got product photos for both Kiryu Optimus Prime and Godzilla Megatron, and you got the same tech spec readouts for the explaining the parts for the robot mode and the alt mode. And in this product photo over here, you've got an image of all the accessory pieces you get. You get the Kiryu Optimus Prime action figure itself, along with his tanker trailer to allow his alternate mode to be an entire semi-truck. And then you've got the double barrel laser cannon that sits on the top of the tanker trailer. That's a reference to the disc launcher that the original G2 Laser Optimus Prime action figure came with. And you got the exact same weapons of the sword and the double-bladed battle axe, which unfortunately, because it's perfectly round and oval shaped, it looks more like a pizza cutter than an actual battle axe. But yeah, you get them. They are just like every version of this mold that's been released. The sword and the axe are done in clear plastic. For the Godzilla type Kiryu Optimus Prime, his sword and battle axe are done in clear yellow plastic, which I believe, it matches up the clear yellow plastic used on the cab windows for his semi-truck alternate mode. And someone pointed out that that when transformed into truck mode, the Kiryu Optimus Prime Godzilla action figure, his truck mode is actually based off one of the trucks that does appear in the one of the more recent Godzilla movies, so it is a nod to the Godzilla franchise overall. Now, for me personally, before I continue on, my motivation for getting these two action figures of Optimus Prime and Megatron, I got them because I wanted to use them for different characters. I wanted to repurpose them. I got the Godzilla type Megatron action figure originally because I wanted to try and use him as Shattered Glass Grimlock. I was even going to swap out, I was going to buy a duplicate copy of one of the leader class versions of Grimlock and do a head swap with this action figure and put Grimlock's head on here, because I wanted to use this guy as Shattered Glass Grimlock since I missed out on the official Shattered Glass Grimlock action figure. But after getting the Kiryu Optimus Prime action figure as well, I've started to grow into actually enjoying both of these Transformers action figures for what they are, being again, Optimus Prime and Megatron cosplaying as both Godzilla and Kiryu. The main reason I decided to get the Optimus Prime action figure is because, well, he's basically the fifth and most recent use of the Transformers G2 Legacy Laser Optimus Prime action figure, and I wanted to try and see if maybe I could repurpose him into Generation 2 Ultra Magnus, which technically never existed. And I also really like the, despite its flaws, I really enjoy the G2, the Legacy G2 Laser Optimus Prime mold, and I figured this is the only version of the mold I didn't have in my Transformers collection yet, so I figured why not get it and add it to my Transformers collection. And on that note, the Godzilla type Megatron, I believe he is the most recent use of the Studio Series Grimlock mold, which has now been used a total of 6 times. It was used on originally on Studio Series 86, aka G1 Grimlock. Then it was used on the G2 Legacy Evolution Toxitron Collection, the yellow G2 version of Grimlock, or Yellow Grimlock, which is based off of a cancelled repaint of G2 Grimlock that was going to be released in Generation 2 but never did. Then we got the version of G2 Grimlock in the Transformers Age of the Primes line that was released in G2, which is basically Blue Grimlock. But before we got G2 Blue Grimlock, the fourth version of the mold that Hasbro released was the Hasbro Pulse exclusive G1 Marvel comic book version of Grimlock, which had the paint job he had on the pages of the Transformers Generation comic books released by Marvel. And then the fifth version of the mold was the aforementioned Shattered Glass Grimlock action figure. And so, yeah, the Godzilla type Megatron action figure, he is the sixth use of the Studio Series Grimlock action figure. Of the 6 versions of this mold that have been released between both Hasbro and TakaraTomy, I have 4 of them in my Transformers collection. I passed on the comic book version of Grimlock because I didn't really enjoy his paint job, even though he comes with the swords for the other Studio Series 86 Dinobots. That still wasn't enough of a motivation for me to add that figure to my Transformers collection. And of course I missed out on the Shattered Glass Grimlock action figure. The reason why I don't have him in my Transformers collection is because to this day I've never found the Transformers Shattered Glass Grimlock action figure selling for a price tag that I felt was decent enough to add to my Transformers collection. I actually found on Amazon the Godzilla type Megatron figure selling for less money than the Shattered Glass version of Grimlock was going for, so that was my motivation to get the Godzilla type Megatron figure. For the Godzilla Optimus Prime, I'm aka Kiryu Optimus Prime. I'm, as I said, he's the 5th use of the Transformers G2 Legacy, Transformers Legacy G2 Laser Optimus Prime action figure. The G2 Laser version of Optimus Prime was the original version of this mold. With Kiryu Optimus Prime here, this mold's now been used 5 times. In addition to G2 Laser Optimus Prime and Kiryu Optimus Prime, the 5th and most recent use of the mold, it was also used to make the Legacy Walmart exclusive Velocitron Speedy 500 RID 2001 Scourge, aka Car Robots Black Convoy. It was also used to make the Legacy Evolution G2 Toxitron Collection Leader Class Toxitron action figure. And the 4th version of the mold, which is the most recent version of this mold that was released by Hasbro, was the Target Store Optimus Prime here, of which I have a duplicate copy that I'm going to keep inside the box forever there behind me, that I'm pointing at. I did, the first copy of that figure that I purchased, I unboxed it and did a review of it on my channel already, as I did with the other versions of these molds here. So yeah, I'm really thrilled to... I've been wanting to review these guys for several weeks now, and I've kicked myself in the pants every time I put off the review, so I decided today, no, there's no more putting it off. I'm finally going to get this done. So without further delay, let's get the Godzilla type Optimus Prime and Megatron action figures out of their boxes and take a close look at the modes that they come packaged in. Alright, and so before I fully unbox them, here they are the Godzilla type Optimus Prime and Megatron action figures inside the interior packaging inside the box. So they each come packaged in opposite modes. The Kiryu Optimus Prime action figure comes packaged, transformed into his alt mode, so that's where we'll be starting off here when I finish unboxing him. And Godzilla Megatron comes packaged, transformed in robot mode. I apologize for my lamp in my ceiling reflecting off the plastic clamshells. But yeah, I'm really thrilled with this level of packaging that TakaraTomy is able to do with the Transformers action figures that they release exclusively in Japan. I wish Hasbro would be able to use these clamshell type clastic trays for their Transformers action figures here in the US. But yeah, that's just my own personal preference with Transformers packaging, as I prefer the the TakaraTomy packaging versus Hasbro packaging. One last thing I will say is staring at Megatron in his robot mode. A lot of Transformers fans and collectors I've seen on the blogs and on websites where announcements about upcoming Transformers action figures are put. Back in 2024, when the Godzilla Transformers action figures were announced, and that it was going to be Optimus Prime and Megatron as Godzilla characters, a lot of Transformers fans and collectors who were avid Godzilla fans were hoping that maybe, if and when we ever got a Transformers collaborative Godzilla action figure, that just to show Godzilla's enormous, imposing size, that maybe either Hasbro or TakaraTomy might use the Titan class Trypticon action figure as a Godzilla crossover figure. But unfortunately, TakaraTomy decided that the Studio Series Grimlock, because it was a mechanical T-Rex that was small enough that it could be marketed and they'd still be able to make some money back from the production cost of making the figures in the first place. They decided to go with the Studio Series 86 Grimlock mold instead of Trypticon. I still do hope that someday we might get a proper giant-sized Godzilla action figure that's mold mates with Titan class Trypticon. But until then, I myself am happy with the Megatron figure here we got in the Synergenex subline. Alright, and so first up we have Megatron transformed into his robot mode, and here's a close-up of his new head sculpt. Again, the robot mode head is the only part that's sculpted to differentiate him from Studio Series 86 Grimlock, and it was based off a prototype head sculpt for Dinobot Sledge. But yeah, I think they managed to pull it off as a successful head sculpt for Megatron. And yeah, I'm really enjoying how nice looking he is. Again, apart from that new head sculpt, everything else about him is the same as what we got with Transformers fans and collectors got with the Studio Series 86 Grimlock. So for a size comparison, here's the figure that Megatron is repainted and mold mates with. I reviewed Grimlock in my 1000 subscriber Dinobots special 5-in-1 review. So Grimlock has a third-party upgrade kit attached to him. Hasbro did not give him this sword. This is from a upgrade kit. But yeah, Megatron does have the same exact laser gun that Hasbro gave Studio Series 86 Grimlock. Grimlock has more weight to him now thanks to the upgrade kit, providing him with gap fillers for his feet and his arms in robot mode. I'm really hoping that third-party upgrade kit will come out for the Godzilla-type Megatron version of the mold now, but at this point, time will tell if that happens or not. But yeah, there's Megatron in a size comparison with the figure that he's repainted from. And in addition to the laser gun, he comes with this blast effect. It splits apart into 3 different blast effects. And as I said, I believe this blast effect was originally used on Siege Omega Supreme. It was done in orange plastic originally. So it's not really nothing new. And it was an interesting choice to have this blast effect as an additional accessory piece for the Godzilla type Megatron. The tips of Studio Series 86 Grimlock, the tips of the double barrels of the laser gun, they are compatible with the blast effects. Unfortunately, the 2 larger ones, they're too little too heavy to want to stay on properly there, as you can see. And if you try to put any 2 of them or more on here, yeah, there's just no way it's going to stay on. The smallest blast effect by itself, it is light enough that it can stay on there fairly well. So interesting choice there. And of course, once we get into once we get Megatron transformed into his alt mode, the reason why the blast effect was done in blue plastic will be made more clear. So setting him off to the side for now, bringing in the Kiryu Godzilla type Optimus Prime action figure. Here he is transformed into the mode that he comes packaged in, which is his alt mode. And the reason why I decided to start these guys off with the modes that they come packaged in is because they're packaged in modes that TakaraTomy sold them in the boxes. These are what I consider the Transformer modes. And basically what I mean by that is Optimus Prime, the Kiryu Optimus Prime, Mecha Godzilla, transformed into the alt mode of the semi-truck. Okay, this is the mode that looks the least like Kiryu. Same thing with Megatron in his robot mode. He looks the least like Godzilla when he's transformed into his robot mode compared to the dinosaur mode. And so the point I'm trying to make is that when we transform Megatron into his alternate mode of a T-Rex, that's when he looks most like Godzilla, and when we transform Optimus Prime into his robot mode, that's when he looks most like Kiryu. And so the modes that they come packaged in are the modes that make them Transformers cosplaying as Godzilla characters. Kiryu, Godzilla, Optimus Prime in his alt mode, and Megatron in his robot mode are the modes that make them more Transformers action figures than Godzilla action figures, and vice versa. The modes that they don't come packaged in inside their boxes are the modes that make them look more like Godzilla characters. So, adjusting my camera again. And there's quite a few Easter eggs between both the Megatron and Optimus Prime Godzilla action figures. One thing to note is that Grimlock, Megatron, his robot mode chest, it comes with the same Autobot logo permanently sculpted on the interior of the chest that came with Grimlock, and so TakaraTomy hid the Autobot logo by painting over the center of the chest plate with the Godzilla Transformers logo. But there's quite a few Easter eggs between both the Godzilla, Megatron, and Kiryu Optimus Prime action figures. I believe the designs on Megatron's shoulders are a reference to one of the symbols that represented Godzilla in one of the films. And then for the Kiryu Optimus Prime action figure here, in alt mode he rolls fairly well along a solid surface, separating the tanker trailer, which does fit in quite securely. Kiryu Optimus Prime, he's got some red triangles on him. He's got some here on his robot mode shins, and then he's got some here on the robot mode lower arms. I don't know what they're supposed to represent, but they're an Easter egg to one of the Godzilla movies. And with this hexagon, almost honeycomb shaped pattern here that's on the hood of his alt mode, that's based on a mechanical design Kiryu had in one of the films. And then you've got the Kiryu Transformers logo painted here on this on the bottom sides of Optimus Prime's doors. They're kind of hard to see since it's black on dark blue, black paint on dark blue plastic. But yeah, pretty nice there. One thing to note is that when you take him out of the box for the first time, his fuel tanks are folded into the upper part of his legs, which is the transformation to his robot mode, so you do have to flip them out if you want to display him off transformed into his alt mode first. And then here on the trailer, you got some Japanese letters here on the trailer, and then underneath are some words written in English, and it reads Japan and Counter Xenomorph Self-Defense Force. So yeah, that's what the letters here that's what the English letters here on the top, which my camera's blurring. The letters are GXSDF, which stands for Japan Counter Xenomorph Self-Defense Force. So yeah, that's a nod to one of the Godzilla films. And Optimus Prime's paint job overall, this is based off of one of the trucks that was trying to track down Godzilla in one of the movies, so that's why the trailer's this dark military, like greenish gray. this army brownish green, and then the front of the front section of the semi is mostly blue and gray. Because in truck mode, the Godzilla Optimus Prime action figure is based off of one of the research trucks that was trying to track down Godzilla in one of the movies. And yeah, overall pretty nice looking semi truck. And adjusting my camera here so I can get it all on full view. For some special size comparisons, here is the Kiryu Optimus Prime, Godzilla Optimus Prime, Transformers Optimus Prime. For some special size comparisons, here he is next to the Transformers G2 Transformers Legacy G2 Laser Optimus Prime action figure. And then for some other size comparisons, here he is next to the Velocitron Speedia 500 Car Robots Black Convoy figure that was also released in 2022 with the G2 Laser Optimus Prime. And then here is the Legacy Evolution Leader Class Toxitron figure. And last but definitely by no means least, here is the Target Store Optimus Prime action figure that was released in 2024, the same year TakaraTomy released the Kiryu Mecha Godzilla Optimus Prime action figure here in the States. So yeah, here are all 5 versions of the G2 Laser Optimus Prime action figure. In a size comparison with Kiryu. So here he is next. Here's the Kiryu Optimus Prime. I am standing amongst his mold mates. Switching them around a bit. I put him in the center since he's the focus of this video review, but switching them around like so. Getting them all to line up properly. So, going from this direction over here, we've got them in the order in which they were released by both Hasbro and TakaraTomy. We got the G2 Laser Optimus Prime figure in the Legacy line in 2022. We got the Car Robots Black Convoy, aka R80 2001 Scourge, that same year as a Walmart exclusive in the Velocitron Speedia 500 subline. Then the following year in 2023, we got Toxitron in the Transformers Walmart, again as a Walmart exclusive in the Transformers Legacy Evolution G2 Toxitron collection, the subline that was actually named after him. Then in 2024, we got the Target Store Optimus Prime action figure by Hasbro, and then a few months later, we got the Kiryu Godzilla type Synergenex T-Spark Optimus Prime action figure released exclusively by TakaraTomy. So yeah, even though the G2 Laser Optimus Prime mold from the Legacy line, even though it's now been used a total of 5 times, it's the only one that's been released at mass retail. The others have all been released as exclusives. The Target Store version of Optimus Prime is the one that's the most unique of them all, since it comes with the trailer originally used on the standard container cargo trailer that was originally used with Earthrise Optimus Prime. The G2 Laser Optimus Prime action figure has now been released twice, so for those who want the Target Store Optimus Prime to have the exact same trailer as the other figures that are mold mates with him, and then you could easily find a copy of the G2 Laser Optimus Prime figure on the internet, since it was released twice. But yeah, here's the figure that's the focal point of this review, the Kiryu Godzilla Mecha Godzilla Optimus Prime action figure next to his mold mates. And yeah, I'm really thrilled seeing all 5 of them standing side by side with each other. It's the middle of the night when I'm recording my review, and I need to get to bed soon, so unfortunately, as much as I would really like to, transforming this mold is a little bit difficult, so I won't be showing all 5 of these guys off standing side by side each other with their robot modes, but I've seen at least one reviewer do a side-by-side comparison of all 5 of these figures transformed into their robot modes, and that Transformers reviewer is Toys R Us. If you haven't subscribed to his channel or heard of him before, go check him out. He does a lot of amazing reviews on Transformers action figures. So yeah, thank you Toys R Us, for taking the time and energy to actually compare these 5 Transformers action figures that are mold mates with each other, not just in their alt mode, but in their robot modes as well. But yeah, there's Kiryu Mecha Godzilla Optimus Prime. I'm next to the figures that he's mold mates with, and yeah, I really enjoy having these figures in my Transformers collection. When it comes to Transformers action figures that turn to semi-trucks, I enjoy when Hasbro and TakaraTomy give them the trailers instead of just giving us the tractor cab without the trailer. Many Transformers fans and collectors say they prefer just getting the tractor cab because it reduces the overall cost of the Transformers action figure, and most trailers are either ornamental, they don't really do much, they just open up and they might form a battle platform or a repair station that doesn't really do much. You have to use your imagination for it, but I prefer when it comes to Transformers action figures that turn to semi-trucks, I prefer when they do come with the trailer versus not coming with it. But yeah, there is the Godzilla type Optimus Prime and Megatron action figures transformed into the modes that they were packaged inside of their boxes. We got so fresh out of the box, the Godzilla Megatron action figures transformed into his robot mode. The Kiryu Mecha Godzilla Optimus Prime comes packaged inside the box, transformed into his alt mode of a semi-truck. And as I said, these are the versions that look the least like Godzilla and Kiryu Mecha Godzilla, so these are the more Transformer modes for these Optimus Prime and Megatron action figures. I apologize for not showing them off side by side in their robot modes together and their alt modes together, but for the sake of time and the late hour of the evening it is, I'm going to transform them into their opposite modes, which are their Godzilla modes, and wrap up the review. Alright, and so here are the Kiryu Transformers Synergenex. Here are the TakaraTomy exclusive Transformers T-Spark Synergenex Godzilla type Megatron and Optimus Prime action figures, aka Godzilla Megatron and Kiryu Optimus Prime, Mega Godzilla Optimus Prime, transformed into their second modes. We got the Godzilla type Megatron figure transformed into his dinosaur mode, and then we've got Kiryu Optimus Prime transformed into his robot mode. And again, I really love how the shoulder towers represent the blue missile pods, or the blue shoulder towers that Kiryu Mega Godzilla has in the Godzilla movies. Yeah, really nice paint job that Optimus Prime has here as Kiryu. You got, again, the Kiryu logo on the chest, and you got some words printed on here. MFS-3 on the other side of Optimus Prime's chest. You can see right there if I put it at that angle. And again, the sword is done in clear yellow plastic, same as the windows for the truck mode. But yeah, some nice really nice paint job used here for the Kiryu Optimus Prime action figure. The clear plastic on the back of the head used for light piping is the same clear yellow plastic used throughout him. But then, oddly enough, TakaraTomy painted over, put a layer of paint on the eyeballs of Optimus Prime. So if you shine a bright enough flashlight on the back of him. Hopefully my cell phone can do it properly without blinding anyone. But if you shine a bright enough light on the back of Optimus Prime's head sculpt, as you can see right there, his eyes actually glow orange instead of yellow, so interesting decision on TakaraTomy's part to do that for the light piping on this figure. But yeah, there's the Kiryu Optimus Prime in his robot mode. Again, the sword, same clear plastic used on the windows. That's true for every version of this mold. The weapons are done in almost the same clear plastic as the windows for the alternate mode are. So bringing in the trailer, just because it is a repaint of the G2 Laser Optimus Prime action figure, the Kiryu Mecha Godzilla Optimus Prime's trailer can open up and become like a battle station platform. And if you wanted to, you could detach the tower section and have it be almost like a giant cannon weapon that Kiryu Optimus Prime can use to battle Godzilla Megatron. So there's that option if you want. And so setting this off to the setting the trailer off to the side. There's Kiryu Optimus Prime one more time in his robot mode. Actually, and before I get to the Megatron Godzilla, he has the same exact features that were used on the G2 Laser Optimus Prime and every version of the mold of this mold that's been released so far. Where if you open up the chest, you've got a clear all yellow version of the Autobot Matrix of Leadership there inside the robot mode chest. And also something for people who've managed to get a hold of this figure, I've seen nobody show it off so far, but you got the same, you open up the front of the tower, shoulder towers, and you got the same 6-barrel missile pods. It's there inside Kiryu Optimus Prime shoulders. Again, all the clear parts on every version of this mold. The clear parts on one individual version of the mold are all done in the same clear plastic. So for the Kiryu Optimus Prime action figure, the parts of him that are made out of clear plastic are all made out of clear bright yellow plastic, just like the G2 Legacy Laser Optimus Prime. His clear parts were all done out of blue plastic. I believe Black Convoy's clear parts are made out of pink plastic. Toxitron, I believe his parts are made out of purple plastic, and then I think Target Optimus Prime, his clear parts are made out of clear dark gray plastic. So yeah, a really nice color matchup here for Kiryu Optimus Prime. Setting him off to the side. So here is the Godzilla type Megatron figure transformed into his robot mode. His alternate mode of a mechanical T-Rex. And again, it's the same AIM figure as Studio Series 86 Grimlock. So if you want to try and differentiate Grimlock and Godzilla from each other, you can put them in different poses. Back in the 1980s, paleontologists still believed that because the T-Rex had 2 legs that it walked upright like modern human beings did. But in the late 2000s / early 2010s, paleontologists were going over the fossilized remains of the T-Rex and other carnivorous dinosaurs, and they discovered that in order for the T-Rex to have walked upright, it would have had to have dragged its tail on the ground, but there was no evidence of the spinal bones found at the or the tail bones in T-Rex's tail, showing that it dragged it on the ground. So they realized. So in more recent years, paleontologists have discovered that the T-Rex did not walk upright. It actually walked with its body parallel to the ground like this. So I really enjoy that the designers at Hasbro TakaraTomy gave the Studio Series Grimlock mold a neck joint diverse enough that you can put Grimlock into either the old school T-Rex pose where he stood upright, or the more modern T-Rex pose where the body is parallel to the ground like this. But yeah, that's just something you can do to differentiate Studio Series 86 Grimlock and Megatron type Godzilla from each other. Other is how you display them in T-Rex, how you have the legs posed in T-Rex mode, the configuration for them both. As I said a moment earlier in the review, the blast effects I show off more closely here and place it here inside the mouth. And if you look closely right here, the back of the neck joint for the Godzilla Megatron action figure, it's done in clear purple plastic with black paint on the front of the neck area. And between that and the blast effect, I called it blue, but it's actually purple. I'm partially colorblind, so I apologize for getting the color wrong. But the neck being made out of clear purple plastic and the blast effect here, this is done to mimic Godzilla's atomic breath. I'm sorry for blinding you again with my cell phone, but yeah, if you look right there, that's a good angle where I'm not blinding you guys. But yeah, that's the neck joint and the blast effect together. They're supposed to mimic Godzilla's atomic breath that he has in a lot of the movies. Really see a really nice color choice there on TakaraTomy, but just be mindful the neck joint for the dinosaur mode for the Godzilla type Megatron figure, it's made out of clear purple plastic, so just be mindful that it could break over time. But luckily there's enough versions of this mold out there that if the neck joint were to accidentally break apart, then you could buy a duplicate copy of the mold and do a neck swap if you wanted to. But yeah, there's the Godzilla type Megatron with Grimlock once again. Setting Grimlock off to the side and bringing in the Kiryu Optimus Prime action figure once again. So yeah, here are the Godzilla type Megatron and Optimus Prime action figures from TakaraTomy's exclusive T-Spark Synergenex subline, which is a double commemorative line celebrating the double anniversary of the Transformers and Godzilla franchises back in 2024, which celebrated the 40th anniversary of the Transformers and the 70th anniversary of Godzilla. And so it amazes me that how long these franchises have been around, and but also the fact that they celebrate have the same anniversary year. I forgot that the first ever, until these figures were announced, I'd forgotten that the first ever Godzilla movie that came out was released back in 1954. Or, even though Godzilla is credited with being the first modern kaiju giant monster character, the first one that was actually created was King Kong, since he came out, I think 17 years earlier in 1937 is when the first King Kong film was released. I can't remember off the top of my head, but anyways, yeah, for what they are, for these action figures are being, again, Optimus Prime and Megatron cosplaying as Kiryu and Godzilla, I think TakaraTomy did a decent job with these action figures. There was a lot more I wanted to say, but I can't think of it off the top of my head, so just to wrap things up, for the final proverbial question that I ask at the end of my Transformers reviews, do I recommend getting the TakaraTomy exclusive T-Spark Synergenex Godzilla type Megatron and Optimus Prime action figures and adding them to your Transformers collections? I only recommend getting these figures if you're fans of both Optimus Prime and Megatron overall. If you like the Studio Series 86 Grimlock mold and the Legacy G2 Laser Optimus Prime molds, I recommend getting these figures as well. For those of you out there who are strictly Godzilla fans, these action figures aren't fully full-on Godzilla and Kiryu action figures. They're basically Optimus Prime and Megatron cosplaying as Kiryu and Godzilla, respectively. On that note, in the Godzilla movies, it's revealed that Godzilla is actually the king of the monsters, and unlike the other giant monsters who actually want to destroy humanity and destroy the world, Godzilla is actually a defender who protects the world from all other monsters. And so the fact that the humans build a Mecha Godzilla, aka Kiryu, to try and stop Godzilla. They're actually stopping the defender of their world from all other monsters. So the plot twist that Godzilla is actually a hero, not a villain. Villain is been one of the most jaw-dropping plot. It's one of the more jaw-dropping plot twists. It's in a franchise where the big monster isn't evil and wants to destroy everything. He's actually defending everything. And so yeah, with that plot twist that Godzilla is actually a hero and not an evil monster. Or in that perspective, then this guy is Megatron is actually the hero in this story, and Optimus Prime is the anti-hero, if you will. So yeah, pretty. That's always been my favorite plot twist when it comes to the Godzilla franchise, is revealing why Godzilla exists and why he does what he does, is to defend the world from all other monsters. So yeah, if you're strictly a Transformers fan, then you might not be interested in these repaints of G2 Laser Optimus Prime and Grimlock as characters from the Godzilla franchise. So yeah, these are not must-have or highly sought-after Transformers action figures. So I only recommend getting them if you get them for if you absolutely enjoy the idea of Optimus Prime and Megatron cosplaying as Kiryu and Godzilla. Then I recommend getting these figures. If you don't, then they are an easy pass, especially considering that they're TakaraTomy exclusives and you'll pay more money for them than you would Hasbro released Transformers action figures. So yeah, this has been the TFN Geek. This has been my double review of the Transformers TakaraTomy exclusive T-Spark Synergenex Godzilla type Megatron and Mecha Godzilla Kiryu Optimus Prime action figures. If you like these figures' overall designs and you like their paint jobs, then I highly recommend getting them. But if you're not really into the paint jobs of these figures, since that's one of the main selling points of these Transformers figures, then they are an easy pass. So thank you guys all once again. Thank you to all my friends and subscribers for your continued support. And until next time, you guys, please remember, collecting is a lifelong hobby as long as you enjoy it. Please do it for the rest of your lives. And until next time, you guys, please remember to stay safe, stay healthy. This has been the TFN Geek. Thank you to everyone for your continued support. And until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.